Hello, 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 my darlings. Hello, how is everyone? How you all doing? How you been? How you keeping? I hope you're all feeling rather wonderful on this beautiful grey and shitty Friday after evening, early afternoon. I don't know. Uh, how's it going, kids? What you been up to? It's been a full 24 hours since I spoke to you, and you know why? You know why? If you haven't noticed that I was online yesterday and having a little chinwag with you all is because YouTube in their wonderful wisdom decided to delete my last night's stream because YouTube deemed it against some sort of policy, even though I said it. I literally said it to Pavlov. YouTube is going to screw me on this because it's just like videos that I show that are on YouTube. I'm not allowed to play. I'm not allowed to play videos that are on YouTube itself. Why is that, YouTube? Why did you screw me on that, YouTube? So yeah, if you guys and girls are unable to see my yesterday's video because of this shit that would come up, that I violated YouTube's terms of service, which is the videos that I played were on YouTube. I didn't play a video that was off YouTube. So if I violated the terms and services, the videos that I played also violated it. How did I violate it and they did not, is what I want to know. But for some reason, I violated the terms and service, but the videos that I played on YouTube that are still on YouTube don't seem to have violated anything, any terms and service. So here's a big fuck you to YouTube. But this is why we do Restream, boys and girls. This is why we go for Restream, because Restream restreams all our streams onto multiple platforms. And if you wish to see my the BS Thots 41, which had the wonderful Pavlov of the Pavlovian response on it, you can find it on Twitter. It will still be available on Twitter. So go to my twatters and twat me, and you will find that I have my video still on Twitter because I restreamed it on Twitter and other platforms, and it's also on Twitch, which has gone a bit weird. Oh no, this might be the current live video, but there it is. It's on Twitch. You wish to play it, you can start playing it. The broadcast has indicated that this channel is intended for more mature audiences. Yeah, sure. There you go. It is intended for more mature audiences, people. So remember that it is for more mature audiences. So go and watch it on the Twitter. And also you can still get it on D Live. It is going to be on the big D, because we all love the D. It's going to be on D Live for a few days, for 3 days. So it's on D Live. I'm actually downloading it from D Live because YouTube won't let me download it either. They remove it and they won't even let me download it. So imagine if I wasn't restreaming. If I wasn't restreaming it, it would be lost. It would be gone to the ether. They didn't even warn me, by the way. They didn't even send me any information about the fact that they were going to remove it. They just removed it. Just bam, gone. Your video is gone. We don't give a fuck, because this is our platform and we own it and we do whatever the fuck we want, and you are nothing but a peon, a fucking piece of shit. Doesn't matter all the time and effort you spent setting up your live stream, doing it all, getting it all done. No, we don't give a shit. We will just simply remove it. Whilst, you know, other streaming services or other places that seem to have streaming seem to be a little bit kinder to us. So at the moment, you can get it on Twitch, D Live, and the Twitters. So please go to the Twitters and do your, watch the stream there if you wish. I will, once it's finished downloading, I'm currently in the middle of downloading it. Once it's finished downloading, I will upload it to BitChute as well. But it seems that YouTube does not wish to I don't know. YouTube's got a stick in its ass. It doesn't let me show the things that are on YouTube. YouTube won't let me show things that are on YouTube. So there you have it, boys and girls. Now, we didn't come for that, did we? No, we didn't come for that. We came here because the title says Jordan M. Jordan M. And a reply, I am doing a response video to Jordan M's stream that I guess was last night. Yeah, 15 hours ago. And now Jordan M has actually privated this video and I've cached it, so I managed to actually get it because of the fact that I was already watching it this morning, and it just preload cached it into my system, so it's still playable. But he has now set it to private. I guess it didn't make Muslims look good when Pavlov basically owned his ass, and I will get to that in a second. Pavlov's jumped on that stream, and he pretty much responded in devastating ways to Jordan M's, oh, why are they only picking on Muslims? Because they're always picking on Muslims. And so that's the reason I did this. I'm doing this video response now, because if if you just let it go, Jordan M and Muslims like him are dishonest. They will hide their videos if it doesn't suit their agenda. If someone comes and proves them to be wrong, they will simply remove that information, because Islam is fundamentally dishonest. Islam literally has a system of lying within its religion, so they won't actually tell you the truth. But we will begin the video a little bit just to give you a little introduction into what Jordan M was talking about and some of the things he's pointing out. He's going to point out some videos of Muslims praying and then police objecting to it, or people complaining, and he's like, oh, why are they just picking on Muslims? Because other people pray, even though no one else actually does the kind of praying or what would be considered actual praying. I mean, if you see Christians taking the knee and taking, I don't know, the sacrament and that little wafer and the wine, like the Catholics do, then you could say that, or they're all gathered and are all clasped in prayer, going, Lord, please, blah blah blah. Any scenario that would be considered real prayer. He points to a couple of people who come there clapping, who, by the way, come towards the end of the day, so they're always there like 3-4 o'clock onwards, and they start clapping and singing. He considers that the same as the Muslims praying, and I will show you the difference between these things. So for now, let us just get a little intro to what Jordan M wants to say about his objections.
So this stream was, I think I decided today, I mean, to be honest, I do keep up to date with the Speaker's Corner sort of things. I try to, although I think I've struggled to kind of get the motivation of late. I feel like the park's kind of died down a bit. But this, that praying rule is something that's always kind of bugged at me. And a lot of it is from the experience I've had down there and what I've seen. And so I kind of wanted to go through a few videos, maybe give a little bit of a background, maybe look into the ruling itself. We know that congregational prayer, and by the way, if you don't, I'm assuming that you guys even know what I'm talking about here. So at Speaker's Corner, congregational prayer is not allowed. It's not allowed. So the police will tell people to stop praying. I believe it's been defined as more than one is a congregation. We can look into that. Apparently the rule has always been there. However, Muslims used to pray fairly frequently in the park. Why was it only enforced recently? And have there been other groups also practicing religious worship at the park that goes unnoticed? And look, I want to make this live stream balanced. This isn't an sort of attack on the police there or the or other groups. I just want to see. I think most of us, if something's enforced, I think we are fine as long as it's consistent along the board. And for me, I'll make a disclaimer. I would have no issue seeing Christians praying, Jews praying.
You see, this is the problem. He says, I don't have any problems with seeing Christians praying, Jews praying, even though he knows no other group does it because everyone else obeys the rules. He says he doesn't have a problem because he knows that the only group that actually want to do this mass pray, and they do it in mass, and they in fact have actually occupied massive chunks of Speaker's Corner. By the way, we're talking about Hyde Park here. Hyde Park is a massive place. It is a giant park in London that Muslims can literally go any other part of this park. Let me see if I can bring a map of Hyde Park here to try to demonstrate what I'm even talking about, if I want to try to illustrate what we're talking about here. This is Hyde Park in London. Let me see if it's visible. Yeah, okay. This is Hyde Park in London. This is the Hyde Park area. This is a massive park. Do you know where Speaker's Corner is? Speaker's Corner is about, where is it? I think it's like this much of Hyde Park. Let me see if I can put it. Oh, actually, there it is. There it is. Sorry, I was at the wrong end even. This is Speaker's Corner. Okay. Now this is the little section of land, and this is, by the way, this has been allocated. It's been highlighted as Speaker's Corner, but it's even smaller than that. This is the part that all these Muslims want to pray out of a park that is this big. It literally has a small lake inside it, round pond, and the serpentine sort of little lake. Out of this entire park, these Muslims are got it up their ass that they must pray here and occupy that space. So to come and tell me that, number one, it's against the rules of praying anywhere in this park, by the way. It's against the rules of any part of this park. By the way, they could also go here where the Marble Arch is, and all of them can pray there. And the Ashura, when there was like the Shiites, they do this Ashura sort of march. They usually gather here. And all these Muslims can go here and pray all day long till their heart's content, by the way. There is no problem Muslims praying any of this. This is a massive space. But no, out of this entire park, they wish to come here into this space, this little stretch of land, which is literally this little bit, which is Speaker's Corner. And they don't not only want to do it on the grass either. They want to do it. They do it right in the middle of where everyone else is gathered, where these people with the ladders are on this asphalted area. They want to do it there. That's their gripe, is that they can't pray in that location out of that giant park and to occupy the space where other people who wish to speak and wish to use the Speaker's Corner sort of free speech zone. No, they have to do it there. So to even bring up the fact that why Muslims can't do this is so unfair, it immediately shows their disingenuous nature, because there is no there is no reason why the Muslims should gather there. This is the Marble Arch area, by the way. They can go here and they can all pray here. How many hundreds of Muslims you could gather in this Marble Arch area? This is called Marble Arch. They can literally come here and pray, by the way. There is no restrictions on praying here. I've seen Muslims pray here. But this isn't good enough for them. They have to come to this stretch of land and occupy. This is why people know this is not about prayer. This is about domination. This is about presence. This is about stamping this is a political maneuver. We all know what this is. We all recognize what this is. And that's why, Jordan, your complaint is so incredibly disingenuous. It screams bullshit to anyone who wishes to see it. Anyone who goes and sees Speaker's Corner and actually sees the ridiculousness of what you're talking about. This is Speaker's Corner, by the way. If I can just go there. This is that little hut where everybody goes to this is it. They want to pray right here on this stretch out of this giant park. Look at this. Look at this. All of that. You see all the way up here? They don't want to pray here. None of them want to pray around here. No. Not up there. Not all this fucking space. They want to pray here. They come to this area because this is the stretch where everybody speaks at Speaker's Corner. This is the stretch where everybody uses from this beginning of this gate here all the way to, you could say sometimes some people even gather around here. They could even go here. They could come here where this hut is. They could go back behind that hut over there where that tree is. There is a giant amount of space. This is a huge place. But the stretch where people go for Speaker's Corner is here. It's this area. this tiny little zone, but Muslims have to pray there. That's where they have to pray. They can't use any of the other space. Sometimes they've in fact occupied this whole space. There are videos that I'm going to show, hopefully it'll show it, that they've occupied this whole area. So to tell me that Muslims don't have a space, don't have a place, that they're restricted to this particular area is bullshit. This is not about prayer. This is about show of power and dominance. That's what this whole thing has always been about. And Jordan, you're lying through your fucking teeth. But, you know, we can go forward a little bit. Now, before we get further into it, because he goes on and on and on and on, I'm going to skip to where Pavlov starts talking. But I want to show you this video by Takia Watch. By the way, go subscribe to Takia Watch. Great channel, great guy, awesome person. He hasn't made videos for a while, but this is one of his great ones.
If you look at the following videos, you see a phenomena that we don't see much of in other communities.
That's Soho, England. That's in. I don't know. It's either Soho or actually, it might even be Oxford Street.
Taking up space in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Why is this man praying in the middle of the road? Why does he have to do that? What is that all about?
Middle of highways, in the middle of where everyone is walking. You could do it on the side. You won't be noticed. What is really going on over here? What are the psychological processes or factors that motivates you to have so little consideration of people around you?
By the way, I don't really have a major objection even to this. They're not really blocking anyone. They're not stopping anyone. This is a fairly large area. So I don't even see this as a major problem, but I do see it as a political statement. That's what it always is, and that's what it's always been. I don't want to play the music because the music gets copyrighted. But yeah, look at this man, look at this guy praying in a plane. He is praying, and even though his other companion or friend or whatever may actually be even but he's holding up the plane from taking off because he's taking this thing, because he's taking up this bathroom location as well. Actually, I don't know if the plane is holding it up, but the stewardess simply informs the pilot that this is what's happening. There you go. This is a Muslim's response to the fact that he is an asshole. He is the asshole, but of course it's the Muslims that are wrong. Oh, and this was when I was recording Hatun, when they were praying. There you go.
In Speaker's Corner in London.
Now let me show you. This is Speaker's Corner. This is the bit where the Muslims were praying. That's my fat ass. Okay, this is 4 Muslims praying. Now, remember where the Hyde Park is. This is the spot. This is the spot that they were all praying. This is Speaker's Corner. This is the area where we all, where the majority of the speakers go and speak. Out of all of this park, look at the size of this park first. Take into account the space that's available to Muslims. They have to go and pray here because there was no other room for them. There was no other place for them except there. And where they were actually praying, there was a guy who was trying to give some kind of, I don't know, speech or whatever. But this is Speaker's Corner. This is the Speaker's Corner zone. Out of this park, they had to pray there. So you go ahead and tell me who is the antagonist here, who's actually trying to antagonize, because they know that praying in the park is, first of all, against the rules. Second of all, it's antagonistic towards those people who are now complaining about Muslims praying. And by the way, it wasn't because 4 Muslims prayed in the corner there. That's not how it started. It started because Muslims started to take on the whole of that area. This is nowadays they're doing this because they're not allowed to pray in their large masses. They were praying in like the groups of 10 or 20 before.
Speaker's Corner in London, there are regulations for what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. As you see in front of you, these are the regulations regarding what is allowed and what is forbidden. And they have made it very clear that collective prayers is not allowed. But it doesn't seem to matter. The police are not enforcing it. And when they have enforced it, after pressure, when we shame them worldwide.
You see, look at Mohammed Hijab now praying. This is why people complain.
For a short time.
Look at
the Muslims seem to go back.
Ah, shit. The problem is it's hard to see. It's hard to sort of locate, see exactly.
And when they have
look at this. That's the reason. That's the reason people started complaining. Because if you actually look at what the number of people there, that's not just 1 or 2. That's not 4 people in a little corner anymore. They took up the entire width of the asphalted area where Speaker's Corner is located. Out of this giant park, again, I just want to remind everyone, out of this giant park, look at all that space. They all had to pray here. Right here was where they all had to congregate. Because obviously this is the only place available to them when it comes to praying in Speaker's Corner, right? You couldn't go back there. They couldn't go back there. They couldn't go to this entire giant green area that we see over here. No. Here was the only place that was available for these poor Muslims to pray, because clearly this is the only place Muslims can pray. This is not about prayer. If you think this is about prayer, this is you're not looking at the bigger picture.
Forced it after pressure. When we shamed them worldwide, they implemented it for a short time, and then the Muslims seem to go back to try to dominate. What's really going on? Why are the police not enforcing the rules? And why do Muslims not seem to show any respect to the rules? Well, this video will answer that. And the short answer is supremacy and dominance.
Again, subscribe to Clear Watch. The earth has been made sacred and pure and mosque for me. Mosaic, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. For me. So whenever the time for prayer comes for any one of you, he should pray wherever he is. Whenever he is. And I have been supported by our way, by which the enemy is overwhelmed, from the distance, which one takes 1 month to cover, and I have been granted intercession. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the hell this is, but these are some of the hadiths. Sahih Muslim, by the way. Oh, shit. What the fuck is this bullshit? Sorry guys. I clicked on the wrong damn thing. I want to just mute it because I don't know if I can actually play the music. This problem is Taqiyya Watch uses a lot of music and stuff to comment, to sort of exemplify why Muslims pray out in the open in our parks and on our streets when there's plenty of mosques for them to pray in. Well, first of all, yeah, who knows? It's how radicals show off their strength and control of your area. Your nation allowed them to do it. There you go. That's Imam Tawhidi, by the way. This is a Shia Muslim mullah who's telling you why they're doing it. He's playing music. I can't play the music. Yeah, this is why they're doing it. They're doing it to show that they have control of this area, that their dominance in this area. Why would this Muslim have to pray in the middle of a dual carriageway? These are the reasons why speakers, this Mr. Jordan M, when he starts to talk about, the Muslims are just being picked on. Why is it just the Muslims being picked on? Because we know better, Jordan. We know, we've seen your Muslim behavior, the Muslims' behaviors. We know that this isn't about prayer. This is about dominance. And you pretend, you disingenuous bitch who pretends that you don't know about this. You honestly tell me you don't know about how Muslims dominate certain areas and they take over certain places like this. This is Paris, France. So you don't know about this, right, Jordan? You've never seen any of these images before, Jordan. This is totally new to you. You had no idea that the Muslims wanted to dominate the area. Also, you never ask why Muslims feel they have to pray in that exact spot of Speaker's Corner out of the whole of Hyde Park. Again, the whole of Hyde Park, which has this vast green grass area, you feel the need to pray right here in this tiny little segment which the speakers come to have their debates in Speaker's Corner. In this area is the only place. This is hold on, let me see if I can. Is he
they cannot contain these numbers. They're here to stay. Basically things, it's really basically, this is what Muslims are going to do, because I'm from Pakistan and I know these things. It's really a norm in Pakistan. They do it to show numbers. It's a sign of dominance. Other people should mock them. They just want to show that, we're here to stay. I mean, they could easily go to a mosque. I mean, mosque, it's not far. It's not, it's not that small that they cannot contain these numbers, but they just want to show numbers and strength that we are here to stay and we're going to pray. But whether you like it or not, Islam will grow.
Speaker's Corner again. You see, this is the reason why they started banning it. Because of this shit. And again, look at the space that they're in. This is the area where people, Speaker's Corner. This is the area where people, that tiny little portion of Hyde Park. Look at the vast Greenland behind them. They can't pray over there. They have to pray over here. This is the spot they have to pray. That massive giant space there is not convenient for them. Even though it's actually against the rules to pray anywhere in the thing. I'm just saying that even if they could pray, even if it was allowed for them to pray, they could pray at any other location in this giant park except this tiny little area where we call Speaker's Corner. But they don't even want to do that. This is a symbol of dominance and power and the fact that we control this space. That's what this is. It's nothing to do with prayer. This prayer thing is bullshit. It is just a way of getting past, just like BLM uses Black Lives Matter to push their communist socialist agenda. They are using their so-called religion and their freedom of religion and respect for our religion to push their dominance and control of space and power. That's what this is. And this is it. Thank goodness this was in the video. This is what Muslims did in Speaker's Corner when they were allowed to pray. This image, remember this, because this is exactly the reason why people started complaining about Muslim praying in Speaker's Corner, because this is where most of the speakers would stand to give their speeches. In fact, there's maybe a guy at the end there. Look at the space that they've taken up. The reason people started complaining about Muslims praying was because of this, Jordan, because you continually pushed the boundaries until people started pushing back. This is why. Look at this. Look at this. This tiny area, in fact, that's JC from Soko Films. This tiny area where people are trying to have a speaker's corner day, this is what the Muslims did before they were pushed, until they stopped them, until they broke this. Otherwise, this would have dominated that whole area. The Muslims would have dominated that entire area. There'd be no place for anyone else to have a speaker's corner or to have any debates or anything, because the Muslims would have continued to grow to take this space. This is the reason, Jordan. There you go. Now, because they stopped them, or because they started to enforce the rules, now they're just standing as a single individual screaming Allahu Akbar, the azan. Again, another source, a form of dominance over space, and another a power play that they're doing. So they can't pray in their masses anymore, so they'll scream their fucking Allahu Akbar shit. To be honest with you, even that I couldn't give a shit. You see, if they kept even this, by the way, again, massive park, they still insist this tiny little area they call Speaker's Corner, that's where they have to pray, even though giant park is available, and also the other area which we call a Marble Arch. All this is available to them. They don't have to be in this space, but they have to be here. And I'm not sure if Takir is playing music or not. Look at this. Look at this. This is why, Jordan, they stopped the praying in the park. There's Mohammed Hijab, by the way. Another asshole who constantly thinks he can dominate people by just manhandling them. He keeps constantly grabbing people. He's a very, very touchy-feely person. But anyway, this is the reason, Jordan. This is why. If you think this is appropriate, if you think this is what Muslims should be allowed to do in Speaker's Corner, then it shows your complete bias and the fact that you're disingenuous about the reasons why people stopped Muslims praying, because they were doing this kind of bullshit. I honestly, they think we don't know. They think we don't see this crap at Speaker's Corner. Like people have got short memories, that we somehow forgot what Muslims have actually done over the years at Speaker's Corner. They pulled this kind of crap off, and that is why people are objecting to Muslims praying. Oh, come on. What's happening? It's buffering all of a sudden. Come on, YouTubes. Aha! We have Pavlov in the house. Pavlov, let me see. I don't know why this is buffering. Let me refresh it. What's going on? The YouTubes is uncooperative today. Playback begins shortly. Restart your device. What are you talking about? Just play the video. Oh, for crying out loud. Where is it? I mean, I think you guys get the gist of what I'm talking about anyway. I mean, what we're seeing. This is the sort of shit that we're talking about with Muslims. Look at this guy praying on his freaking car. And to be honest, I even don't care about that. If he's parked in a reasonable place and he's not obstructing anyone, pray on your damn car. It's your taxi. I don't give a damn. But I do care when this kind of crap happens. Now let me see if I can play Jordan's video. It appears I can and I can't. I don't know. Sorry guys, hold on.
Bear with me.
There.
Okay, Jordan is now want to point out that
So
this.
let's go for this one here.
By the way, this is the disingenuous comparison. This is the apples
Hopefully
and
I can talk at
oranges
the same time.
comparison.
The Christian lady.
Okay, you see this? Okay. Jordan compares this to this. Okay, Jordan compares this praying to be on the same level. He sees, first of all, he interprets this as praying, which isn't actually any kind of prayer that I've ever seen any Christian do. So he interprets this as actually praying, which in itself is disingenuous, and I think is just bullshit, because I see these guys as clapping and dancing. If you want to stop clapping and dancing, then you go right ahead and do that. I mean, you are Muslims after all. Singing is haram. So music is haram unless it's Quranic anyway. But if you think this is actually praying, and you're comparing this to what Muslims do, he's comparing this what Muslims do. Yeah. So this is supposedly Christians praying. This is Muslims praying. Okay? This is Muslims praying. You see, can anyone spot the difference? I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing the same thing. Can someone tell me, is there an apples and oranges comparison here between the two groups? What's wrong with this picture? You know, what's wrong with this picture?
Okay, so the reason I chose this video, and this is courtesy of Mr. Rax, is what would we call this?
I don't call it praying. I call it singing. I call it clapping and singing. And as far as I know, that's not against the rules. Clapping and singing is not. This fucking thing is. This is straight up praying. Jordan, the reason Muslims got banned was because of this bullshit. You pulled this kind of bullshit. Okay? You guys did this crap. That's why. Even if you kept it to this sort of a level, it might have actually gone under the radar. People might have just said, fuck it, they're just 3-4 of them. Nobody cares. No one started complaining about this level of prayer. They started complaining about this level of prayer. That's why I know you're full of shit, Jordan. That's why I know you're talking bollocks when you start to pretend that this is an equivalence to fucking Muslims praying in the park. You guys pushed your fucking luck. You tried to dominate the area. You tried to show that you control this space. And then the people pushed back. And now you're pissed because people have now pushed back. And they not only have stopped this, but they've even gone as far as stopping 2-3 of you praying now. They're now stopping all of you from fucking doing it. Because you pushed your fucking luck. Banksy, if you have 1,000 people singing at speakers, you will complain. Yes, if there's 1,000 people, if there's even 30 people doing it, Walter, I would say that should be stopped too. If they're clapping and praying 30 at a time, I would absolutely come down on that. I have no problem with coming down on anything that violates that law, because what you don't realize, what most people don't seem to realize, is the reason that rule exists in Speaker's Corner is so that you don't get hordes of Hare Krishnas and evangelist Christians coming and holding prayer meetings at Speaker's Corner. This is the reason originally it started. Because if you open the floodgates to people praying in mass at Speaker's Corner, the Muslims are not the only ones that are going to come in their hundreds. Okay, you're going to get loads of people. You're going to get thousands of people from all different religions, hundreds of people, should I say, from all sorts of religions that are going to gather in mass. No, Jordan is right in the sense that, yes, you have to stop it all. But what I will say is that he is doing apples and orange comparisons, because he is equating this two people dancing and clapping to what the Muslims did who initially started this bullshit. The Muslims started the push. They pissed people off because of what they did. If there was 2 Muslims praying, and it was always ever only 2 Muslims praying, no one would care. No one would have cared if it was only ever 2 Muslims praying. And by the way, Walter, which is something you don't seem to mention, is that if you actually take Hyde Park into account, I'm talking about they are praying in this tiny little area, which we call Speaker's Corner, when they have this fucking park. This whole park is where they could actually go. This entire giant space. And by the way, this is not even, I'm not even showing you a quarter of Hyde Park. I'm just showing you a fraction of Hyde Park, a tiny little sliver of Hyde Park, which is where Speaker's Corner is. This is where Speaker's Corner is usually, people come. They have all of this shit, and they don't choose to go any of that. They come right here, and they do it right here. This is where they're at, okay? This is where they're at. Why is it, Walter, why do you think they come to here to do it? And they don't choose any other part of this massive space? They could literally go all the way here. The hundreds of Muslims could pray on this in this grass area. They don't pick that. They have no interest in this grass area. No interest whatsoever in this giant space where they could all go. They all want to huddle up in this tiny little area which we call Speaker's Corner. We all know what they're doing. This is not a secret. This is a power play. This is political maneuvering. So don't come to me with this, oh, well, Jordan is technically right, because, he's technically, we dot the I's and cross the T's because, we have to go by the letter of the law. This is bullshit. It's bullshit. We know exactly why the Muslims are doing what they're doing. Now, I don't have much time. In fact, no, I have no time. I was going to open a panel because I want to have Pavlov speak, but I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes try to bring up Pavlov's speech on Jordan's channel. You see, this is what we're talking about. This is France again. This is what everybody's complaining about. People are not complaining about 2-3 people clapping and singing. Okay, Jordan? Nobody gives a shit with 2 Muslims standing there clapping and singing. If it was only 2 Muslims clapping and singing, no one would care. What is this? Why do Muslims feel they have to do this, Jordan? That's the reason why Muslims are complaining. Non-Muslims are complaining. But let me see if I can go to the point where Pavlov starts talking. Let me see.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
My laptop is going all over the place.
Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to join in, Pavlov? So maybe respond to what the brother said there about not maybe not really understanding what's so offensive about the prayer.
What's so offensive about the prayer, Jordan? How many fucking times again? I just want to quickly remind everyone why people give a shit about Muslims praying at Speaker's Corner. Okay? This, Jordan. He thinks we forgot. He thinks video doesn't exist. That we can't fucking go back in time and show how this shit all started. Yeah, this is the reason why this shit started, Jordan. We have video nowadays. we can recall the reason why this bullshit all kicked off.
Right. I actually discussed this with PC Barnes a few times, and he gave me a little peek into the actual rules of Speaker's Corner. So one of the rules that piqued my interest especially is that the police can send you away from Speaker's Corner for absolutely any reason that they see fit. And they don't actually need to justify it. It doesn't need to be some kind of a crime. It doesn't need to be in the book. It doesn't need to be anywhere. They see fit to send you away, and they can send you away, which, is a bit of a slippery slope, let's be honest here, because sometimes they do these, sometimes they kind of cave in to mob justice in Speaker's Corner. And it doesn't really matter who does the mob justice. There have been plenty of different factions doing mob justice in Speaker's Corner, and the police usually just caves in. But about prayer specifically, well, look, we could approach this politically, or we could approach this more psychologically, I guess. Politically, it's basically a game of politics. It's as you said, I think. Different factions will fight for their own interest, and they will try to downtrodden the other side. I've seen plenty of different factions try to lie, cheat, deceive, say basically any kind of thing they can to downtrodden the opposite side. And it takes us to the second reason, which is psychological. Why are they lying, cheating, deceiving to do what they want to do? Well, because they think they're the good guys. And that's always the reason. The sister a while ago, when she was speaking, she was saying something like, it's the religion of truth, Islam is the religion of truth. And I'm not going to go into religious discussions here. I think you guys already know my views on that. But the truth of the matter is that both of the sides think that they have the truth. Both of the sides. The Christians, just as much as you, they have just as much conviction as you do. And they will always say, oh, no, Muslims, they're...
I don't exactly know if it's my machine or what, but YouTube has been because I think this video is actually been set to private now because Jordan doesn't like people who devastate his arguments to express those arguments about Islam on his channel, so he privates a lot of shit all the time. So I don't know, maybe that's why this
to go into religious discussions here. I think you guys already know my views on that. They have the truth, both of the sides. The Christian, and they will always say, oh, no, Muslims, they're not actually following God. We are the ones who are actually following God. So they think they're doing something nice, when they try to say something about Muslims. But I think it happens either way. Now, about the specific thing that happened, the last thing that I would like to say before, giving you guys time to say what
I don't understand what the problem is with praying, or what's that got to do with...
about that.
Yeah, about that. This is what's it got to do with praying. This, again, I just wanted everyone to remember, this is what it has to do with. This is why they're disingenuous. When they say they don't know about this, well, if you didn't know about this, Jordan, here it is. Here is the reason why people complained about prayer at the park, because you fuckers started praying in your masses to dominate the space. If you don't know, if you want to play bullshit ignorant, oh, I didn't know this had happened before, well, then I'm showing you now. If you watch this, if you ever come across this, and I will point to this again and again every time you bullshit about why is there a problem with Muslims praying at the park, because you did this. And if you hadn't done this, if you hadn't tried to dominate the space, if you didn't want to stamp your fucking presence and show your strength and power and political maneuvering and bullshit like that, then you would still be able to pray a couple of you at a time in Speaker's Corner, and no one would care. This is the reason. Don't come. I know you know about this, Jordan. I know that other prick on your show knows about this. That's why I know you're lying. You're disingenuous assholes, because you know what Muslims did before the ban started, before the police, before the public started insisting on the police actually taking action against mass prayers by Muslims in the park. This happened because you guys did this, then people started to react to it and started to complain, why are Muslims dominating the space and taking over all the fucking the Hyde Park, this tiny little area. Again, how many times? I don't know how many fucking times. This is a fraction of Hyde Park, okay? This is a fraction of Hyde Park. I'm going to do this until I'm fucking blue in the face. This is Speaker's Corner. This is the section of Speaker's Corner. You cunts had to come here and do it. All that fucking green area was not good enough for you, right? It had to be here. So you're telling me that this was just a coincidence. You just did this accidentally. No, you did it because you fucking wanted to show your dominance over that space. And then the police came and kicked your asses, and now you're bitching and crying.
Yeah.
About that, prayer is a show of power. And I think that's why
There you go.
they kind of denied it for both Christians, Muslims, and whoever to do it. Now, of course, I saw the stream of Jonah. I've been here for a while now, even though I didn't say much in the comments. Only occasionally,
I'm glad.
But,
By the way, I'm glad Pavlov actually slapped them with some serious backhanders of truth. And this whole thing about power, by the way, they don't go back to it at all. Jordan doesn't even acknowledge the fact that Muslims did these as a power play or a political game. He just doesn't even fucking acknowledge it. That's why his disingenuous bullshit just spews out of him. You can see it coming out of his pores because he knows the reasons why. But he's it's so unfair. But the poor Muslim, we just want to pray. We just want to pray, just pray, just 2 minutes. It's so unfair. It's just so. Fuck you. Kiss my fucking ass, you lying assholes.
I remember that you showed the video where they were dancing. A bunch of Christians were dancing, la la la, blah blah blah. They were chanting a little bit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess that's where we could make an argument. Does that count as actual prayer? For example, Olumba, right? Everybody knows Olumba.
Yeah, yeah.
Olumba say love one another. Everybody has heard that stuff.
Yeah.
Is he praying? Is that prayer? Is just singing something that you made up? That it praises your God actual prayer? Or is just kneeling? For example, for Christians. Is singing, dancing, clapping, doing all that kind of stuff prayer? Or is actually saying, quoting the Bible prayer? Or is just getting on your knees and, putting the stuff as they do prayer?
Mm-hmm.
What do we actually call prayer? Because if we singing, dancing, all that stuff prayer, then it kind of expands the spectrum for a much bigger thing. You know what I mean? So I guess that's where we should draw the discussion.
Yeah, and it would certainly be unfair, wouldn't it, to say, to only count prayer as what Muslims do, because
No, we know what Muslims. This is fucking counts as prayer because this is what Muslims fucking do. This is a overt display of fucking worship. These guys, those two guys clapping and singing is not Christian prayer. It doesn't even come under the remit of Christian fucking prayer. The Christians don't even pray that way. But you go ahead and pretend as if this doesn't happen, as if this bullshit was not actually, happening at Hyde Park before people started clamping down.
Christians clearly they have gospel singing, and it's clearly they're saying praise the Lord, so for me and it doesn't just say prayer; it says religious worship, and to me that is if you are praising your Lord, you are worshiping, and that's religious. So, and if you're doing it in a group, then to me I guess it would.
By the way, the Christians started to sing hymns and stuff at Speaker's Corner over Christmas. At least I think it was in 2018-19 is when I think recorded it. I don't remember it over 2019-20. I don't know if they did that in that period, but they certainly did it over 2018-19, and they did it because of this shit. They did it precisely to fuck with the Muslims, to get at the Muslims. Hell, I fucking joined in. I stood there like, I don't know what jingle bells, jingle bell. I don't know what the fuck I sang, but I would do it. I do it just to piss you Muslims off. Yes, I will stand in a circle of Christians as much as I think their bullshit is bullshit, and still go jingle bells, jingle all the way. Yeah, just to fuck with you guys. Because of this bullshit, Jordan, this happened, and now people are fucking with you, okay? This is the reason why we're fucking with you. So kiss my ass.
Would fall on. The first point you made about mob rule, I'd say is an interesting one, because the biggest mob down at Speaker's Corner is Muslims. So why is it that Muslims are not getting their way on this one?
No. The mob rule thing that you guys do is you come down and you bully individual speakers like Hatun and other people and bully them out of the park is what you guys are capable of doing. You're not going to get your way by bullying the police. You're not going to mob the police and then bully your way out into getting your prayer fucking done, are you? Even though you absolutely try to even do that. When Hatun came and complained about you, the four of you praying, where was it? Let me see if I can find the bit where it was Speaker's Corner, where Hatun and I was next to Hatun. Hold on. Wait a minute. Was it earlier? I don't know if it was earlier. Yeah. When I was here, when these Muslims were praying, actually, we skipped it a little bit. When Muslims were praying here, yeah, you tried bullying Hatun out of this. That day was the day that Hatun got attacked and got dragged to the floor because she had an annotation, a picture of a little mouse called Akbar. But that day you also did try to bully. You were trying to stop people from recording. I've got footage myself that you were trying to stop people from recording. So yes, you still use your mob techniques to try to actually bully people into even stopping you guys or complaining. But you're not going to be able to do it to the fucking police, are you? Your mob rules ain't going to carry any weight with the fucking police. So of course you're not going to get your way there. You're not going to get your way there. But look at this shit. Look at this. This is Washington D.C. If this isn't display of power and dominance, I don't know what the fuck is. This is the reason. This is the reason why people... Look at this. Look at the fucking azan in Germany. They have a minaret and the azan screaming into the streets. This is Germany, by the way. Let me see if I can put the sound on this. This is...
Islam will grow.
This is Germany. This is Germany. Is this what the future of Germany is going to look like? That shit, that fucking azan, first of all, I despise that sound. That sound gives me PTSD. I despise that shit. But to hear it in Europe is even more disturbing than anywhere else. Because to me, this was the sanctuary. We ran away from the fucking shithole of the Middle East to get away from that fucking sound. And now it's in Germany, and I don't know how many months and years it's going to be before they're doing this in fucking Trafalgar Square. It was actually in Trafalgar Square a few Ramadans ago because Sadiq Khan allowed it. Yeah, Jordan, that's the reason why people complain about Muslims praying. They don't want this sort of shit in their streets. They don't want this sort of shit in their house. That's the reason why they complain about it. Why do Muslims? It's just a few Muslims praying. What's wrong with the few Muslims? It's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's just a couple of us. We're just sitting, Fuck you. Look at this shit.
Intervene.
I'm gonna. You do notice that they feel the need to scream it as well. Again, this is all about power play. Nothing to do with fucking actual prayer. They don't need to scream it like this, by the way. You can pray in silence. You don't have to fucking be screaming it every 5 fucking seconds. There's no need for that shit. This is all, again, dominance and power play. I'm going to play 5 more minutes.
And the second thing, even flat earthers probably
stream, to be honest, I got shit
all get angry when the Muslims pray. But I don't really necessarily.
Or do they get angry when Muslims pray, Jordan? Or is it because they do shit like that? Or this maybe, Jordan? Again, I don't know how many fucking... I'm like a broken record. I want this to be seared into the fucking memory of Jordan M. or anyone who watches this. I want it to be branded into your brain that when people complain, they're not complaining about one or two little innocent Muslims in the corner. No, they're complaining about this shit. Don't fucking come to me with your bullshit.
So you see it as a Muslim-Christian argument. And look, to me personally, I don't mind seeing Alumba or any of the prayers or any of that. I let them get on with it as far as I'm concerned. But do you not find that there is and you know a lot of these characters, there is definitely an allegiance amongst, suddenly I remember seeing Steve singing Christmas carols. Well,
yeah, I'll be singing Christmas carols. If this Christmas they fucking do them, I'll be singing Christmas carols. I'll be the front and fucking center. Lord Jesus is my Lord. I don't know what I don't know any Christmas. All I know is Jingle Bells. Is there another one? Oh, he cometh. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be the fucking front and center. I'll wear a big ass fucking cross too. Probably upside down with the devil hanging off it, or maybe a stripper on the cross. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
He's the atheist that's against religion, thinks religion's a joke, and is against congregations. But he was singing He was singing hymns. So I see this kind of if that's not just people aligning themselves against Islam, I don't know what is. I don't know what your opinion is on that.
Well, your opinion is right. They do ally themselves against Islam sometimes, because what happens in Speaker's Corner is actually sometimes pretty scary. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate right now, but look, what happened to...
Don't worry, Pavlov. You'll get no hate on this channel. You have nothing but love because you fucking crushed it on this stream the other night, Pavlov. You crushed it. You fucking took them and you fucking crushed their testes underneath your boot heel the way you fucking crushed it with this one.
Hatun has two sides. First, Hatun brought the Quran. Obviously, she escalated the situation from just words to bringing a Quran with holes. But, and I expressed my opinion on it. I said that I don't agree with it. I don't think she should have done that. But at the time, I also always said that I don't think she should face any kind of actual consequence besides getting spoken to and saying you shouldn't do this, or getting ridiculed, whatever. She can get ridiculed as much. You can ridicule her as much as you want. It doesn't matter. But what happened was very different from that. And what happened was that the mob there, the angry mob, they made up something about her, which is that she was trying to burn the Quran. There were plenty of people. Almost every Muslim in the park was shouting that she was trying to burn the Quran. There were videos made about this. And I remember very well specifically the video.
It's called Tekiya. It's called Tekiya, Pavlov. They have been given moral justification from their God to lie. Unlike the Christian God who says, thou shalt not lie, the Muslims are, thou shalt not lie unless we are tekiyaing the shit out of this. And then we will lie our asses off in order to protect our faith.
Video of Zakaria saying that she was attempting to burn the Quran when she wasn't. She never did such a thing. She never even tried to burn the Quran. Yes, she did drill holes in the Quran, but where does that leave us? It leaves us in the fact that there was a mob, there was an angry mob of people. They made something up to sound more dramatic than it actually was, just to get Hatun out of the park. And that is something pretty extreme. And I'll tell you with complete honesty, that is something that makes me uncomfortable. Because it means, basically, people can make something up about me to next time I go to Speaker's Corner, and then they make a little mob, nice little mob. They surround me. They start calling me an Islamophobe, whatever you want. You name it. You name it. I mean, it's not like they don't call me already, but it doesn't really matter. I haven't been taharushed yet in Speaker's Corner. Now, if that happens, what am I going to do about it? The police is out, the police told the Hatun not to come to the park. They didn't tell the mob stop it. They didn't frame anybody in the mob. They didn't even tell the Dawas to condemn the behavior. The police did nothing. They told Hatun to be careful. And what did the Dawas do? Again, they did nothing. So, there is indeed, you're completely right. You're completely right. Sometimes the atheists, they will stand on the side of the Christians, because I do not remember something this extreme happening from the side of the Christians. They have their flaws. They have like some people who go there every week and they start shouting, screaming, sweating from every place.
Can I say something on this, Pavlo?
Go on.
I think there's a difference between sharing and having an intellectual discussion and then getting to people's hearts by being disrespectful.
I don't give a shit about your religion. I don't give a shit about your religion. I don't have to respect your religion. You constantly say, oh, you must talk to, criticize my religion in a respectful way. No, I actually don't. You know that, right? I don't have to care about your religion. That is your delusion. It's not mine. If you want to fucking praise Thor and I don't know, prostrate yourself to fucking Elvis Presley, it doesn't mean I have to respect that. This is what Muslims you don't get. This is why you haven't evolved socially to recognize that other people don't have to give a shit about your feelings. Right now, immediately he goes, you don't have to say something that gets into your heart. I don't have to give a shit about your feelings. Your feelings are not my prerogative.
So what then getting the difference between sharing and having an intellectual discussion and then getting to people's hearts by being disrespectful.
I don't have to be respectful and I don't have to give a shit about your heart.
So what I see is with Hatun, I don't come to the park, but
First of all, let me point this out before this guy goes on about disrespect. Every time a Muslim says, did your God come out of a vagina? Every time a Muslim denies the Trinity of Christ, it is absolute disrespect to Christians, those especially who believe in the Trinity. It is an insult it's a slap, it's a spit in the face of every Christian. So every time you tell a Christian that you don't believe in their Trinity, you don't believe that Jesus and what they consider God died on the cross, you are spitting in their face. You don't seem to give a shit about that. You don't seem to have any problems with that. And yet you seem to think that they should afford you some level of respect when you literally spit in their face when you deny the core essence of their religion. You fucking shit on. It's like people coming and taking a shit on the pillars of Islam, on Hajj, on the Ramadan, on fucking Zakat. When people shit all over all of that, you think you need to have respect for you if a Christian comes and takes a giant shit on those things, that's equivalent to you telling them they don't fucking they shouldn't believe in the Trinity, that the Trinity is bollocks, that it is corrupted, that it doesn't exist. That's the same equivalent. When they tell you your Muhammad married a 9-year-old and would be considered a pedophile right now, that's the same as you telling them you don't believe in Jesus Christ. You telling them your God came out of a vagina. You know how many times I've heard Muslims say your God came out of a vagina? And that's the respect of Islam. They expect respect when it comes to them, but they don't give it. And then they wonder why people don't respect their religion.
I watch a lot of videos on YouTube and things. And what I see is that Hatun goes to different levels. There's levels of respect when you talk to people. And this is my opinion. I believe that if she's bringing a Quran and she's ripping pages out, it's obviously going to make people upset. And people are going to make light.
First of all, Hatun, as far as I know, she's never ripped a page out of the Quran at Speaker's Corner. She may have done it online, she may have done it on our YouTube channel, but she's never done it at Speaker's Corner from what I know. I've never witnessed such a thing. I've seen her with the Holy Quran and other the mouse thing, but she's never ripped a page. But who cares? even if she did, who gives a shit?
Eyes up, people are going to deal with the situation in their own way. So
hello Betty, hello everyone in the chat, by the way. Rodney, Goofy, Dan, Toten, the Wasp. There's so many of you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Carry on. Guys, I literally have 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before I have to finish this off. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I have something at 5 o'clock that I have to go to. I may do another one of these later in the evening. Maybe finish this off because this video is in private mode, so I can't actually. If I close this tab, literally, I won't be able to load this video again. So, and I can't even download it because it won't let me download the video. So this is the only way I can actually record it.
I personally think Hatun is the cause of this hatred. It's causing division between the Christians and the Muslims and the atheists. So I think instead of like throwing fire and throwing gasoline, I think everyone should be a bit more peaceful. In
Muslims are the only ones that react physically, violently, physical violence. No Christian has reacted violently for someone talking crap about Christ. No Christian in Speaker's Corner, from what I've seen from the years I've been there, and I've been there since 2000, I think it was mid-2018 or something, I've never seen a Christian attack anyone because they said your Jesus Christ, your Trinity is bollocks, or your Christ is your religion is a delusion, or any of that shit. No one's done it. No Christian has reacted violently. Muslims are the only ones who are categorically known for violent reactions towards their religion. Maybe other religions would do the same. I don't know about the Sikhs and the Buddhists and the Hindus, but there isn't really much Sikhs, Buddhists, and Hindus there, except Raj. I think even Raj wouldn't physically do anything. If you bring the I don't know what is it, their Gurdwara or whatever their holy text is. I've actually got a PDF of the Sikh holy text. I bet you any money, if I desecrated it, Raj will be pissed at me, but he's not going to hit me for it. I can promise you that.
In the discussion.
Yeah. Can I make a comment quickly? And good point, brother. Can I make a quick point, Pablo? Because I know you mentioned that burning the Quran. It's almost like you feel burning the Quran is worse than drilling a hole and like dangling a mouse in it. I mean, I don't know if you know, burning the Quran is actually one of the halal ways to actually dispose of a Quran. So for me, I think
it is.
I think drilling a hole and having a pet mouse going around in the Quran. And look, I know she's trying to do this.
Nobody cares how you feel about it, Jordan. Nobody cares. That's not the point of Speaker's Corner. This is, again, all about my feels. It's all about my feels. My feels. I feel that it... Don't go to Speaker's Corner if you're so up in your fucking feelings. That's the message. That's the takeaway message from this. If you're up in your feelings, Speaker's Corner is not a place for you.
The narrative of the holes and Yasir Qadhi. But she's basically desecrated a Quran. So it's the same. You could either look at the same as the burning, or Islamically, desecrating it and mocking it would be worse. And I'm with you on the fact that I don't want to see Hatun hurt or anything like that. But I've been down there and you've been down there. Hatun is almost, wouldn't you agree? She's almost looking for it. I mean, I've seen her actually.
Look at this. Look at this. You will now see how Jordan tries to justify and say, if something happens to Hatun, she's asking for it. She brought it on herself. So if a Muslim beats her up or rips, assaults her in any way, and they've already done it twice, and they've already stolen her book and, dragged her to the floor. So he is now going to justify assaulting a woman in this segment. Just like Muslims who justify marrying 9-year-olds, Jordan M. I bring you Jordan M., the man who will justify beating up a woman because they upset Muslims. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for your civilized ways. You see, this is the problem with Islam. They say, this is the problem. This is what Voltaire said. You make a person believe in absurdities, you get them to commit atrocities. This is the prime example of why you don't allow people, or you just don't let people believe in absurdities without challenge. Because you let people believe in absurdities, they will commit atrocities. Here's Jordan M., a man who was born and bred in Britain, who's probably from a middle class upbringing, who's been well educated, and yet still manages to somehow, through the absurdity of believing in the religion of Islam, justify assaulting a tiny little woman like Hatun because she brought it on herself. She assaulted or insulted the the Muslims, so she gets whatever she deserves, right, Jordan? She gets whatever she deserves. She brought it on, and by the way, Pavlov's response is brilliant on this.
Target triggered Muslims in the crowd and go and approach them with the book and dangle it in front of them. I would say that if Hatun was physically attacked, we'd both be condemning it. But in a way, what would we expect if I was to destroy a Bible and go and stand in amongst a group of Christians and somebody punches me in the face? Can I really go around saying, "Look at these violent Christians"?
She's kind of looking for trouble, isn't she, by doing that?
Oh, she's bringing it on herself. Now, Pavlov responds fantastically with this.
You know, guys, let me give you a parallelism of that argument. And hopefully you won't take this as an insult, because I'm not trying to throw insults here.
Yeah.
But imagine this. Imagine I go to a mental hospital, and I start insulting everybody around me. And a bunch of people get really upset, and they kill me, because they're mental patients. Obviously, they are not people to be trifled with. Are we really putting Muslims at the same level of low impulse control that mental patients in a hospital? Because look, if I go to a mental hospital and I call names to people, I'm stupid. I'm clearly stupid. But we expect a certain amount of intelligence from people to be able to contain themselves and not react in such an extreme way. That's why certain people are in mental hospitals and certain people are outside of mental hospitals. Now, the argument I'm making, the main argument, is not about burning the Quran. And I do know about the halal burning. It's because Osman has burned the Qurans that he didn't deem fit. I think that's where it's originated. So I do know about the rule. But the point is, they made up that she was burning the Quran. And why did they make it up? Well, I can make a safe assumption, I think, that it's because it sounds more extreme, because it sounds more bombastic. Hatun was attempting to burn the Quran. I mean, sounds much bigger than she brought a Quran with some holes in it.
So do you think that was unfair to her? Do you think she deserved?
I'm gonna end it at this point, because I think this was a fantastic point Pavlov made. He made an amazing comparison, and he actually highlighted to what would be considered the sensible Muslims in the world, that if you think that it's okay for your Muslim brethren to attack anyone physically, you are literally saying that we are animals, we are barbarians, we have no impulse control, and so you have to treat us on that level. You have to expect us to be animals. You have to expect us to be barbarians. We're not. And I said this, by the way, to Hatun. I said this on her own live stream. I called in on the Skype call, and I said to Hatun, I agree with you to have the freedom to put holes in the Quran and walk around and parade it in front of Muslims, but she is Turkish. She knows the Muslim world as well as I do. She knows what Muslims are, and she knows that Muslims have not evolved socially. They are socially backwards. They have not evolved to the point in which you can dangle a Quran with holes in it and they won't react violently. They are barbarians. They are animals. They are the savages that Pavlov tried to to say that they shouldn't be. Yes, they are the mental patients, Pavlov. I'm sorry. That's the Muslim world. The Muslim world has not become sophisticated enough. Those who live in the Muslim world and those who the average village idiot Muslim who walks around the streets are idiots, and they have not evolved, and they are as bad as a mental patient. And if you dangle something that upsets them in front of them, if you insult them in any way, they will lash out. They don't have impulse control, and I think Jordan M knows it too now. I think anyone who's dealt with the Muslim world knows what Muslims are like, because they don't have impulse control. Most of the idiots don't. Most of the masses don't. Maybe you'll get your occasional scholars and, your, sophisticated Westerner Muslims. But most of the idiots that go to Speaker's Corner, most of the Muslim world, you go to Pakistan, go to Saudi Arabia, go to Iran, go to Yemen, Oman, and show them a Quran with holes in it, they'll fucking string you up. They'll dangle you by your fucking ankles and skin you alive. They'll do that shit to you. People died when the when the Danish cartoons were released in Denmark. People died in Pakistan. This is how fucked up Muslims are. We know the Muslim world is barbaric. We know Muslims are backwards. This isn't a new thing. And so, Pavlov, I'm sorry. You're saying that Muslims should be much more intelligent and that, you know, they shouldn't be compared to maniacs from an insane asylum. They're not. They are exactly on par with the maniacs in this insane asylum. And unfortunately, we have them in our society and we have to somehow deal with them. We have to, this is Jordan M. When he pretends that Muslims, it's okay for Muslims to go crazy and beat people up when someone desecrates the Quran, is basically the bigotry of soft, the soft bigotry of low expectations. Muslims, he admits subconsciously that Muslims are barbaric, Muslims are backwards, and they're going to beat you up if you upset them. That is what he's saying. Subconsciously, that is the actual subtext of what Jordan is saying about you got to be respectful. You got to, you can't disrespect the Muslims. No, why you can't disrespect Islam, Jordan? Why is it the Muslims are the ones who violently react when you disrespect their religion and no other religious group does that? Why is it? It's because Muslims are still socially backwards. They haven't evolved to recognize that they have to hold themselves. They have to hold their impulses of wanting to kill someone because they said something they didn't like. But you know this. You know this, but you don't want to say it. You'll never say it in a million years, Jordan, because you're disingenuous and really a very, very dishonest person when it comes to Islam. When it comes to Islam, I've seen the most amount of dishonesty from Jordan M. One thing I wanted to just finish with, which is this, basically. What's going on here? Okay, I'm not really sure. Sorry about this, guys. I just want to forget it. I just want to show this article by which sort of demonstrates Macron. Now, Emmanuel Macron has managed to find a set between his legs. I don't know how he's managed to find a set there, but he seems to have found a set because he's saying Macron says Islam is Islam in crisis, promoting backlash from Muslims. Islam is a religion that is in crisis all over the world today, says Macron, as he unveils plan to defend secularism. So it looks like the French are getting their shit together. They finally had enough of these fucking Algerians and these fucking Muslims overrunning their country. President Emmanuel Macron has unveiled a plan to defend France's secular values against what he termed an Islamic radicalism, Islamist radicalism, saying that the religion was in crisis all over the world, prompting a backlash from Muslim activists. In a long-awaited address on Friday, Macron insisted no concessions would be made in a new drive to push religion out of education and the public sector in France. Fuck me, France has found the fucking set of balls finally. I hope Britain follows suit on this one. Islam is a religion that is in crisis all over the world today. We are not just seeing this in our country, he said. He announced that the government would present a bill in December to strengthen the 1905 law that officially separates church and state in France. Yes, because you know your demographics are changing like crazy and these Muslims are fucking just riddle, just infesting your fucking nation. Macron no longer hiding his feelings about Islam, no longer radical Islam, now it's just Islam. That is the problem. Yes, I agree with Macron, Bruno. It is just Islam. I've always just said it's just Islam. It's never been radical Islam. Islam is radical. That's what Islam is. There is no radical Islam. There is Islam. And then there are those hypocrite modernity or modern fucking Muslims who are just bullshit artists, who are just cherry picking Muslims who pick the best bits they like and ignore the bits that they don't like. But you're not. I don't consider those fucking people Muslim anyway. They're just fucking westernized cherry pickers. The measure, Macron said, were aimed to at addressing a problem of growing radicalization in France and improving our ability to live together. Well, good luck with that. Secularism is the cement of a united France, he insisted, but added that there was no sense in stigmatizing all Muslim believers. No shit. Muslims are victims of Islam. Islam is what you got to. Islam is the rot. Islam is the cancer. Muslims, they can be cured of it easily. Okay, where was it? The measure. The law permits people to belong to any faith in their choosing. Macron said any faith. Permits people to belong to any faith of their choosing. Macron said, but outward displays of religious affiliation would be banned in schools and public services. Good for you. Although I think the Sikhs are going to get fucked for this as well, by the way, because the Sikhs wear those turbans and then the kids have to cover their heads and stuff. Sikhs are going to have a fight. This is the problem. Unfortunately, some people, there's a collateral damage. The Sikh population is perfectly fine. They're not really doing anything. But because of the Muslims, the Sikhs are going to have to take it in the ass too. And anyone else. Any other religious group that has a particular dress wear. Wearing the hijab is already banned in French schools and for public servants at their workplace. Good. Thank goodness for that. France is finally getting some fucking testicular fortitude. The willingness to use Islam and minority Muslim communities to rally supports by promoting a divisive culture war against minorities in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic shows more about those who promote such divisiveness than anyone else. Fuck off, Mick Dad. Macron's speech led to a debate on social media. Of course it did. The fucking social justice warriors lost their collective shit, I'm sure. Yasser Lotto, a French Muslim activist, tweeted, the repression of Muslims has been a threat. The repression of Muslims has been a threat. Now it is a promise. Good. No, the repression of Islam has been a threat. And now it's a promise. You see, this is the language. You notice the language. Macron talks about Islam. These assholes talk about Muslims. This is how they switch from. This is the bait and switch. They switch from the language of talking about Islam ideology to Muslims, people. That's not what Macron talked about. Macron never talked about people. He talked about Islam as an ideology. Muslims can change their mind. Islam is where the problem is. But of course, they will never mention Islam. They'll mention Muslims because they want to talk about, they want to, make this into an emotional thing, and they want to make it about people. They're trying to oppress these people. No, they're not. No, they're not. You don't have to be a Muslim. There is nothing saying you have to be a Muslim in your life, and there's nothing saying you have to live in France if you want to be a Muslim. You can actually move out of France if you don't want to be a Muslim, if you find being Muslim uncomfortable in France. So nothing about oppressing Muslims. Muslims can become non-Muslims, or they can take their religion a little bit less serious. But Islam is going to have to be dealt with regardless. Anyway, so that's it. And I could go on, but I don't actually have time. I literally have to go now. I should have gone like 10 minutes ago. Guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed some of this. I just wanted to make this response because I wasn't sure if I would accidentally close this video that Jordan M privated, and it's the only way I had a chance to basically view it and review it. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, guys and girls, I just want to make sure you all know, please, YouTube has already taken 2 of my videos on 2 different channels down. So please make sure you go and subscribe on Twitter, Twitch, and DLive, make sure you you subscribe to these things. If you have accounts, great. If you don't have accounts, make an account. I don't know, but make sure you follow me on these social media outlets, because the minute YouTube takes my video down, you can still see my videos on these things. And I will try to, if any video has been taken down from YouTube, I will then try to download it and upload it to BitChute. But BitChute is more of an archive. Live stream, you can watch my live streams through Twitch, Twitter, and DLive. So these places are available if YouTube messes about. This is why I do restream. Thank goodness I did a restream, on yesterday's stream, because YouTube decided to take it down. They just straight up deleted my video for violating their BS, which I don't even know what I violated, because everything I showed was from YouTube. I didn't show any videos that wasn't already on YouTube. So if I violated it, then the people who uploaded those videos also violated it. But it seems that's not the case. It seems there's one rule for some and another rule for others. These rules are not exactly equally distributed. So please go to those other social media sites and make sure that you're subscribed, and also obviously my Discord is in the description. Go to Discord, get on my Discord server so I can communicate to you guys if this channel goes down for any reason. Same as my other channel, Banksy Style. At the moment, that one is under a 7-day ban for insulting Nazis. I have a 7-day ban from YouTube because I took the piss out of Nazis. Literal socialists, National Socialist supporters. It was Mark Collette. I took the piss out of Mark Collette and I got fucking 7-day ban for it. How is that a thing? You would think that the one group that was open to ridicule was at least fucking Nazis, but apparently not. Nazis' feelings matter. So yeah, there you go. So guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me. I gotta go. Shit's gonna get serious in a minute, because I'm gonna be seriously late for my next do. Guys, love you all. Maybe I'll do a stream tonight later. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. I don't know yet. If not, I'll see you guys about. I'm on other channels, other streams I occasionally pop onto. If not, catch me on my Discord and we can have a chin wag if you guys happen to come on there too. Otherwise, have yourselves a wonderful evening. Have yourselves a wonderful Friday. It has been emotional, to say the least. Thank you, guys, and tickle your ass with a feather. Peace.